Do you ever feel like menu planning takes too much time? It really can, especially when we start with a blank slate every time and when we do it every few days, even every week. The amount of time that it takes adds up. So let me share with you how I menu plan every 6 weeks. Instead of planning for 15 or 20 minutes once a week, I plan in about 30 minutes a whole 6 weeks worth of dinners. You can do this a month at a time, plan out all your dinners for a single month, or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. These same steps work and will speed up your menu planning and help you get dinner on the table with less effort, less overwhelm. Hi, I'm Misty Winkler from Simply Convivial. I know that making dinner is a big part of our job as homemakers, as mothers, and it's easy to feel the drudgery, the tediousness of doing it over and over every single day. But it really doesn't have to be that way. We can find satisfaction and enjoyment even in the daily work that we do when we organize our attitude and learn how to make progress, increase our skill, experience the joy of improvement while keeping the purpose and the point of it all in mind. We beat the overwhelm, the frustration, even the despair of it by fixing our minds on what is true and not letting ourselves tell ourselves lies. The purpose of homemaking, of making a home, is service to and love for others, and in that, glorifying God. And that applies even to menu planning. So let's improve our menu planning skills today by learning how to menu plan a month or more at a time. Let's dig in. I think that you will be able to relate to this little story of mine from a few years ago. The end of a school semester was drawing near. The holidays were drawing near. So much to do. The end of the year was coming up. I stopped menu planning. I just never took the time to sit down and write out the meals that we needed to eat. There always seemed to be other things pressing, needing to happen. It felt like I didn't have time to menu plan. There was always something else that I should be doing. We still ate dinner. We still ate all the meals. So how bad was it really? How necessary really was menu planning? My own simplified pantry method of cooking, where we keep the same things on hand in the pantry and just cook a rotation of meals, was working all right. It allowed me to slip into a menu planning process that really didn't need too much upkeep, but I went from not much upkeep to zero upkeep. We had our standard supplies in the pantry, and I just made whatever I could with what was there. If I'd remembered to thaw the meat from the pantry in time, and if not, I guess there's canned tuna. Or breakfast for dinner, eggs. But you know what? Running life without a menu plan is not ideal. It's not how I want to do things. The truth is, without a menu plan, dinner making is more exhausting, feels more intense, more time crunched, more like an interruption, even when there's plenty of food to pull those meals together. How much more when there isn't? It's really about decision fatigue. At the end of the day, I want the decisions about dinner to have already been made, and I just slip into doing the right next thing. It's already laid out, because at 4 or 5 p.m., I do not have any energy left to make good decisions. So I sat down during our Christmas break that year and planned out 6 weeks worth of meals in one fell swoop. We homeschool, and I homeschool on a year-round schedule with 6-week terms. So we school for 6 weeks on, and then we take a week off. I figured if I could plan all the dinners for that 6-week chunk, then I would be able to take the time during our week off and plan for another 6 weeks. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and it really does work. To have more than a month of meals planned out saves time, saves mental energy, and works really well. Planning for a month or 6 weeks of dinner at one fell swoop means that it only takes 45 minutes of menu planning, sometimes only 30 minutes, for 6 weeks worth, 1 or 2 months worth of dinners planned out. And the grocery shopping takes care of itself because it's all through this master pantry list, which we've talked about before. This process was extra quick for me because I menu plan using Google Calendar. Our meals are on my Google Calendar and I can set them to repeat. But whether you write them out or keep it in some other app, the same process applies. Let's talk about the 6 steps to planning dinners for an entire month, 6 weeks, 2 months, in one fell swoop. First, you have to take stock of what's in your freezer already. I had some ham, some pork, some beef soup bones, in addition to chicken breasts and the frozen meatballs that I keep on hand for Plan B dinners. 2, fill in any special days that are coming up. If the next month or 2 includes a birthday, that factors into the food plans. So take note of those up front. Decide on some standard day of the week dinners, a weekly template for your meals, whether that's Mexican Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, Pizza Fridays. Designate for the next chunk, not for forever, but for the next month or 6 weeks or 2 months, what kind of meals will you have on each day of the week? That will speed up your menu planning so much. Step number 4, fill in variations on those assigned dinner types for the amount of time you're menu planning for. If you only cook the same exact dinner once every 3 weeks or so, it's not going to feel like a lot of repetition, but it helps you fill out that month, 6 week, 2 month menu plan very quickly. So if that's rice and chicken one Tuesday and then beef stir fry the next Tuesday, you're doing the same kind of thing in things that take about the same kind of time, which is very helpful when you're making a weekly template, but it doesn't feel at all like you're eating the same thing every week. I usually pick the same meal to rotate every other week. So over 6 weeks, we will eat the same thing 3 times. It's not that bad, but it saves a lot of planning time. Step number 5, fill in the other meal options for those nights where you're planning for having guests over, or those birthdays or any other special days. Or maybe you have a day of the week that needs a quick dinner, something that is not going to take a lot of time, not going to take a lot of prep. You still want to plan for those days. So fill in the rest of the days after you've filled in your rotations. And then step number 6, go through and think not just about the main dish, but about the side, including the vegetable. So if a meal is a protein, a vegetable, and a starch, look through. You probably already have some meals that are all in one, and that's awesome. But make sure that you've not thought only about the main dish, but that you have a plan for the vegetable to serve with it, or that there's a starch to serve alongside of it. Your menu plan should be a plan for the whole complete meal and not just a single part. Of course, each and every dinner will not happen exactly as planned for a whole month or 6 weeks or 2 months, but the plan is there and in place so that we don't have to think about it anymore. If I need a dinner plan, there it is. The food's in the pantry, the time is reserved, what I'm going to do is laid out. I can just slide right into doing the next thing. If I feel like getting creative, I can just move tonight's plan to another night, and that's not a problem. But having the plan in place means that if 4:30 sneaks up on me, it doesn't matter. I know what to look at, what to do next, because the plan is there, written down, and I can follow it. I'd love to hear your menu planning tips and tricks and hacks and templates for making it easier. So share in the comments below your favorite dinner, your favorite menu planning tip, and make sure and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one of these meaty focus sessions that will help you keep your head in the game as a homemaker. Every week, I have a video that will help you grow in faithfulness and fruitfulness at home, organizing your attitude so you can organize your life. I've got some other videos here that will help you do just that. Enjoy!